Yeah, one of the things that I think drives a lot of this, and you could go back, in the American context, go all the way back to Howard Dean, but of course the Tea Party and Ron Paul, and in different ways, both Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders. These are in large part technology-driven movements. Obviously, when it comes to candidates, it's more top-down by definition. But these leaderless movements all over the world, the Arab Spring and the pushback in Ukraine against Russia, and you could go on and on and on, everything that you've just mentioned. Yeah. This is the upside, the democratization of technology that gives people voice. But there's a downside, and your study talks about what's going on in China as one instance. But these authoritarian regimes, the first thing they do is they try to shut down social media. Yes. If people are smart enough, and they are smart enough to use encrypted alternatives, they shut down the internet. And it's this sort of arms race to against the democratization of technology by authoritarians.
Well, what's interesting, Matt, is roughly 10 years ago when the protests in Tahrir Square happened, and the protesters kind of used Facebook very effectively to marshal opposition to the Mubarak regime and then eventually topple the regime. I think many of us felt, I was a reporter at the time, I wasn't but I think many of us felt at the time that, hey, technology is this like unalloyed good, right? Yeah. That it's going to be this powerful source of liberation for oppressed peoples around the world. And by the way, there's still some truth to that. I often think of like in Russia, where Putin has done a very good job of kind of co-opting opposition. But, the fact that people were able to expose the corruption of the system using YouTube and getting, hundreds of thousands of viewers of that is a sign that still technology can be a powerful force. However, I think what we're seeing is that the bad guys have also figured it out. Mm-hmm. And so there's all sorts of different tools that they now have to kind of push back against the openness, right? So they can, they can surveil you online. They can, the Chinese have done an incredible job of the so-called Great Chinese Firewall, where they literally employ millions of people to prevent the Chinese people from accessing websites or information that they don't want them to achieve. And they've actually done it pretty effectively. I continue to be thinking about, I'm going to get this quote slightly wrong, but when the internet first started, Bill Clinton said, hey, this is going to be the opening of China. There's no way they can control the internet. It's going to be like trying to nail Jell-O to the wall. But they did. They figured it out.